Yeah, this is case number 566 on the calendar, the matter of Huckabee versus Fierro. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Huckabee, you own a cleaning company, and I gather that you hire people either as employees or as independent contractors. You get calls from other folks who want either their homes or their businesses cleaned. You send out your employees.
Yes.
They clean the house. You get a certain percentage of the money, and they get the rest. Is that what happens?
Yes.
It is your claim that you retained Miss Fierro, and she was with you for a relatively short period of time. And you claim that when she left, she went around to customers of yours, people who had been using your company for a long period of time, and slandered you to those people.
Yes.
Ms. Fierro says that she did not slander you at all. She merely went to your customers, and she told them that if they wanted to, they could use her to clean instead of going through you. How long have you been in business?
9 months.
What did you do before that?
The same industry. I was a district manager for another janitorial firm.
Do you have full-time employees in your company?
Yes, I do.
Was Ms. Fierro one of those employees?
Yes, she was.
And when did she start working for you?
December 6th of 2004.
And how much was she paid? Because she has a counterclaim, and her counterclaim is for her last week's wages.
Her initial starting wage was $8 per hour.
Is that so far correct, Ms. Fierro?
False.
When did you start working for them?
I started working for him December 9th.
He says the 6th. You say the 9th.
Okay, it was the 9th.
Fine. You say you started working December 9th.
Yes.
And you were paid how much per hour?
He told me he was going to pay me $10 an hour.
I originally, when I hired her, I offered her a training wage because, as you know, as a discretionary procedure, you offer someone a lower wage, and then as they progress and you see their job performance, then you offer the option to move up from there. Essentially, $10 an hour is my top wage that I pay my employees. I never have ever started anybody at the top dollar wage per hour. So her wage was $8 an hour from day one.
Is she paid by the week?
Her pay periods were going to be weekly.
How many weeks did she work for you?
She quit on January 6th, so approximately 4 weeks.
So the first week's salary that she got was for how many hours?
Her approximate wage...
Just a second. Just to answer my question, Mr. Huckabee. My question is the first week she came to work for you.
I want to say approximately 32 hours.
No, not I don't want to hear approximately.
32 hours.
And what was her check that you gave her?
Well, I tried to pay her through a payroll service. When she initially started, I gave her the entire hiring packet, and she was not willing to fill those out.
Tell me how much you paid her the first week.
$425 was for the first 2 weeks that I paid her.
So the first week she worked 32 hours, and the second week she worked how many hours? I'm trying to
32.
figure out.
32.
So she worked 64 hours.
Yes.
Is that what you have, Ms. Fierro?
No.
How many hours did you work?
Okay, I work over 60 hours.
Well, that's what he says. He said you worked 64 hours. Pay attention.
Okay, 64 hours in 2 weeks.
That's exactly what he said. Pay attention.
Okay.
And if you worked 64 hours in 2 weeks, you were paid $425.
But I was not paid that amount.
How much were you paid?
Okay, $560 for the 2 weeks.
Okay.
But he paid me cash.
Just a second.
Okay, Judge.
Quiet.
After the first week, I moved her wage up.
Quiet. Now, if she worked 64 hours, she certainly didn't make $640. So I'm going to find that I agree with you that as a trainee, she was making $8 an hour. So what you started to say to me was the first week she was paid $8 and the second week she was paid $10. Is that what you're telling me?
I want to say I moved her to $9, and then I gradually moved her to $10.
Okay. I buy that. Ms. Fierro, that's what I find, madam. Not that he agreed to pay you $10. All right. What happened in January when she left?
Well, throughout the course of the first month, her initial solicitation for employment, she came to me as an employee to be put on my payroll. I essentially gave her a payroll hire packet to go through my payroll service. For the first week, I contacted her every day to request the documentation back so she could be on the payroll service. Then after the first week, I was with her at one of the actual houses that she was taking care of for me, and she just, I don't know if she slipped or if she just decided to confide in me that she owned her own janitorial business. Well, had I known that from day one...
Put your papers down, Ms. Fierro.
Had I known that from day one, that's a conflict of interest, and that is what could have been very detrimental to me hiring another competitor to do my business.
Of course.
But at the time, my wife was in her third trimester. We were unable to meet our needs for our clientele, so I was stuck.
How many employees did you have at that time?
Just her. The employee that I had was quitting.
So your whole company is one employee?
I had another employee that was training her at the time.
So you had 2 employees?
Yes, when she was hired, yes. She was one of 2.
And the other employee was leaving?
Yes.
So then you were going to have one employee.
Yes.
That's her.
Yes.
Now I got it. Okay. So you let her go, or she decided to leave in January?
Yes. After the fact, I found out that she was an independent contractor. She had her own janitorial business, the whole 9 yards, same thing as us. Being in a critical state, though, I was unable to, let her go. She already knew my accounts. I needed to continue business. I said, okay, we're going to switch it. You're going to be 1099'd. Here's a 1099 form. I handed it to her. I said, this is what you're going to need for documentation so I can pay you and that we're legal within the, the tax system. She said, okay, I will get it back to you. Well, over the course of the next 3 weeks that led up to January 6th, she continued to make excuses of why she wasn't returning the paperwork back to me.
She lost the papers.
So finally, upon January...
Is that right, Ms. Fierro?
No, it's not right.
I believe him.
I have the papers
I
here.
believe him. I don't care whether you have the papers there. You never got them back to him.
I did not, My Honor, because I only worked for him 5 days.
Just a second. You're telling me now that you only worked for him 5 days?
Yes.
Listen to me very carefully, madam. I don't think you would know the truth if it came up and slapped you in the face. You just said to me not more than 5 minutes ago that he paid you $560, right?
Yes.
That's what you told me he paid you. That's far more than for 5 days. Then you have a counterclaim, and your counterclaim says that he didn't pay you for your last week's wages, $625. So how could you have worked for him only 5 days?
My Honor, this is cleaning the church. That's just the church, what he has me here for.
We have her here for everything.
They have you here for everything, madam. You just told me you only worked for him for 5 days. Why didn't you get the paperwork back to him?
Because they never asked for it.
You mean that they gave you the paperwork?
Yes, they did.
Look at me. They gave you the paperwork, and what did you think you were supposed to do with the paperwork? Decorate your bathroom with it?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
That doesn't answer my question, Miss Fierro. That's a lot of double talk that you're giving me from somebody who doesn't understand English too well, according to him. You understand English very well, and you write it just fine.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cleaning business owners Brian and Monica Huckabee claim former employee Lilia Fierro owes for slander, stealing cleaning supplies, and breaking a vacuum cleaner. Lilia claims the Huckabees owe her money.
I don't like people who come into court and don't tell the truth.
My Honor.
You are not telling me the truth.
My Honor, I have the proofs here. Do you want to see them?
I want to know, madam, why is it that you didn't give him back the paperwork that he gave you?
Because he told me he didn't need them.
I told her I didn't need the payroll company service because I found out she was an independent contractor, so I needed a 1099.
1099.
So
right.
that's what
Here
I
are the
didn't get
papers
back.
that he gave me.
I don't need them.
I have my
Miss Fierro, Miss Fierro, put it down. Miss Fierro plays a little free and loose with the truth.
My Honor.
How long have you been in the cleaning business?
15 years.
Am I correct that you run a business that's similar to Mr. Huckabee's? You provide cleaning services for people?
Yes, I do.
So why did you go to work for Mr. Huckabee?
Because I'm a single mother, and I have a boy that goes to the university, and I didn't have a car. I had an accident, and he knew about it. That's why I was working part-time after cleaning my houses during the day.
Your Honor, the car thing, she had a pickup ever since day one.
That's my son's car.
She came to us asking for a vehicle.
Yeah.
All
She
right.
came to us.
Just a second.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what proof do you have that she went to your customers and slandered you to your customers? I do not take letters, sir.
Okay.
Do you have a customer here?
Well, I
Is this
do. I have a
customer?
witness here, and the witness is an actual individual contractor, as myself. He was there on the premises at one of my specific accounts on the days that she was going to solicit and steal my business away.
Just a second. Solicit and steal your business away, sir, is not the same thing as slander. You do understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
I was
Step up, sir. Tell me your name.
Stephen Tidwell.
Do you remember what date, if at all, you saw Miss Fierro?
Yes, ma'am. It was January 31st. I was there doing billing, getting POs when I was...
Where were you?
It's one of Mr. Huckabee's accounts.
And you were there because you also do work for them?
Yes, on a construction company.
Did
We
they-
did some wiring, some stuff
Did you
in there.
see Miss Fierro?
Yes, I did.
Were you there when she had a conversation
Yes,
with
I was.
What did you hear her say?
I didn't hear the beginning of the conversation. I was in the back talking to the building management. She walked up. At that time, the front desk lady came back and grabbed me and asked me to go up to the front and listen, make sure nothing happened. From what I did hear, Mrs. Fierro was complaining, arguing, saying she wants money.
She was complaining.
Her English isn't that good, ma'am.
Her English is just fine.
Okay. She was complaining about not being paid, that she wants the company to pay her. The lady kept saying, you got to go back to Mr. Huckabee to get paid. It's not her problem. Ms. Fierro kept going on and on. Finally, the office manager said, you got to leave. I will have the authorities get a hold of you or come down. Mrs. Fierro left. Office manager came back. We had a little bit of conversation about what went on, which is on that part's hearsay, but I guess she's been there before and did the same thing.
That's all you heard.
It's just
not
the fact.
slander, Mr. Huckabee.
Well, I guess aside from that, it's just a handwritten letter from Mrs. Fierro to one of my accounts that is, is.
Oh, just a second. If you have a letter by Miss Fierro to one of your accounts in her handwriting, that I'll read.
Okay.
I'd like
and
to
also
see it.
attached
I'd like
is
to see it.
These here are what my accounts received on a weekly basis. It is her business card, a copy of her business license, and apparently a voided check when she was trying to solicit the business and take it away. And then this here is the handwritten letter by her.
You don't have a non-compete clause in the contract.
No, ma'am.
No,
ma'am. I do not. It's just it's a good faith.
There's no such thing as good faith without a non-compete clause, sir.
Correct. And in that.
Shh. Well, it's clear to me that she was trying to take your business away, sir.
Might I add a couple more issues just for food for thought?
Go ahead.
She also went to my place of worship, my church, and she, on probably 7 separate incidences, she went to my particular pastor and demanded that he call me and have a personal, I guess, spiritual visit with me to pay my dues to Mrs. Fierro. And
well, pay your dues. What I gather was in dispute is $225 because you offered to give her, according to what I've read in the complaints and the answer, $400 to settle all claims. Is that right?
$400 was
just to answer my question.
Yes.
And she would not accept it. She said you owed her $625. So the dispute here is involving $225.
No, ma'am. The dispute is involving actually $8,400 because the damage is done by Mrs. Fierro.
I'm not talking to you, sir, about your claim. I'm talking about her claim.
Her claim, yes, ma'am, $400.
Is about $225 because you offered her $400. She said, I'm not taking it. I want $625.
Actually, I offered her $420, so it's $205.
And when did you offer her $420?
$420 was on January the 9th. I was at her front door with the local police department trying to have her initially sign a receipt, the necessary W-9 form, and to hand over her payment and to obtain our personal equipment and cleaning supplies back.
She had your equipment?
She still does.
Yes, she still does.
You still have his equipment?
Yeah, because I asked him to come and get it at my house, and he never came by.
We came with the police department, and the police, of course, they tried to do the peaceful transaction, and she wasn't willing to comply, and they told us to go home. Cleaning supplies, a step ladder, and just miscellaneous, janitorial equipment, rags, dusters, toilet brushes, and so forth.
What's all that stuff worth?
I estimate $75.
Do you think it's right that you wrote to his accounts and told them that you could provide a service as good as his?
No, okay, what I was doing is that when I call him, see, he has a restraining order in Bakersfield court office before all this happened. And then when I was served, I asked him, I said, why do I need to go to court with a restraining order if you are the one that owes me money? And he said, because you don't have to go to the accounts that you were cleaning for me, because they had been told that if
why
they see
did you go to his, listen, he got a restraining order for a reason. Mm-hmm. I'm asking you a question, Ms. Fierro.
Okay.
Why did you write to his accounts, go to his accounts, and tell them, here is my business card.
Okay.
I'm licensed. I can do the same work. Why did you, from a moral standpoint, go to his accounts?
Because I wanted to talk to them, and they never wanted to talk to me.
Wanted to talk to them about what?
About what he had said to me on the phone. Do not even go to the accounts, because they had been told that if they see you, to call the police on you.
Because they're my account.
That doesn't answer my question, Ms. Fierro. My question to you, madam, is he hired you. You got a list of his clients because he hired you, so you knew who his clients were.
Okay.
You think that it's right for you, after you quit the job, to go to his accounts to try to get his accounts to use you as a cleaning service. Do you think that that's right?
No, it's not right.
So why did you do it?
I did it because, see, he had stayed all the time that he was offering me pay, that he said he was going to pay me as a contractor, pay me as an employee, and does he has the proofs that, that he can show it to you that he paid me? Because I don't think any company will pay cash
That doesn't answer my question, Miss Fierro. That's a lot of double talk that you're giving me from somebody who doesn't understand English too well, according to him. You understand English very well, and you write it just fine. And what I'm asking you, madam, is did you think it was right to go to his clients and try to steal them away?
No, I was not trying to steal them away.
All right, your counterclaim is dismissed, Miss Fierro. If he owed you $400, you should have taken it, because you're not getting a penny from me. But neither, sir. Neither, sir. I'm speaking. I think you're very smart. I don't think that there's anything not smart about you. I think that, put your hand down. I think that this was a nasty thing that you did to somebody, to go and try to take their customers away, to tell them, I can do the same kind of job from you. Here's my business card, here's my license, here's my check. He doesn't have a company, he doesn't have separate checking. I mean, these are all things that you wrote to a customer of his. They're really not nice. And you went to his customers, not the right, I'm speaking, not the right moral thing to do. But you don't have a case against her, sir. Do you understand? She is able to do that unless you have a non-compete clause.
Well, I guess...
And you have no proof.
Just the defamation of character, the things that she was going along saying...
Listen to me. You have no proof of that, sir.
No.
Other than you already testified. And nothing in your testimony, sir, was
just the tone
slanderous.
of her voice, though. If it
I don't
takes them
care
to come
about her
get
tone.
me-
Listen to me. I don't care about her tone of voice. Nothing in the words, in the substance of the words that you allege to have overheard is slanderous.
But for them to come get me...
Don't listen to me.
Okay.
Don't answer me back. This is not a give and take.
Okay.
This is, you answer my questions, I rule on your testimony, and that's it. You don't have a case for slander.
But, Your Honor, in turn, I had to be able to maintain a business and the livelihood for my wife and my small child, I had to turn over a month and a half of free service for the damages that she did, and that's why I'm here
Sir, you
today.
haven't proven the damages.
The damages are just for her visits.
You haven't proven the damages. You need a witness who would testify that she came to their establishment and she said things about you that were not true, as a result of which they either switched from your company to hers or stopped using your company. You don't have that witness. The fact that you took measures to keep your clients doesn't obviate the fact that there is a big gap, that central gap of proof, because this is a court.
Right.
Court needs proof. You don't have it.
Okay.
You got it?
Got it.
Is she out of your life now?
I hope so.
Perfect. Very good. Case is dismissed, and so is your counterclaim. You did the wrong thing.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
A little disappointed.
Your Honor, this is case number 522 on the calendar in the matter of Hagen versus Smart. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat, please.
Miss Hagen, Mr. Smart used to be your boyfriend. I don't know whether you lived together, but according to your complaint, at the time that you broke up, he assaulted you. And during the process of that assault, he also damaged your car. In addition, it is your claim that you stored a big screen TV at his home, and he won't return it. That's what your lawsuit says. And Mr. Smart says that he bought the TV and he never assaulted you.
Correct.
Okay. When was this breakup, Miss Hagen?
It was December 25th.
And had you been living together at the time?
No, we weren't. I lived with him for about a week in the summer. It was approximately July.
Okay. Now, the altercation that you're talking about, you say happened on December 25th,
right.
2004. Approximately what time?
It was about 11 o'clock in the evening.
Tell me what happened.
I had spent the night with him for Christmas to help him with his kids and stuff like that during Christmas. We had problems prior to this with his father not liking me, and so he went to his family's house for Christmas Day, and I went to my family's house for Christmas Day. During that time, he said, we'll get back together later on that evening. He'll give me a call. It was about 10. I got a call, but I couldn't hear it. His family lived about a couple hours away drive. I figured he was probably going to stay there. So I went and proceeded to go to his house that night to go ahead and get my tools.
What were you going to get your tools for on Christmas night?
Prior to this, I know it sounds like this is a very long story. Prior to this,
we'll make it a very short story. I mean,
okay.
What were you going to do with your
my
tools that
timing belt
night?
went off in my car. We had tried to fix it prior to this. It didn't function right. I went to go to my family's house and it was running really bad. So when I was waiting for him to get home, he just didn't call or show up or anything. So I figured I'll go ahead and go get my tools from his house.
So you were annoyed with him?
No, not well. No, it just there were issues that I was the one working on the car, too.
Ms. Hagan,
I know pretty much about cars, so I was going to do
I just want to know something. It just doesn't sound right that after spending a day with your family and you're expecting him to call and he doesn't call, you choose that evening at 11 o'clock at night to go over there to get your tools.
There was a call. My daughter's birthday is the following day after that. I was trying to make sure I had a car running so I could take my daughter.
Okay, so you went
out.
over to get your tools. Your tools were located in the house?
No, they were underneath. There was like a little thing. It had like a little shelter type thing on top of it.
Called a basement.
Okay. So what happened when you got there to get your tools?
He pulled up. Once he pulled up, he left the door open. He jumped out of the van and just came at me. I mean, literally just came at me and just started swinging at me. And he asked me if I was leaving, and I'm like, I couldn't even talk. He had me grabbed by the jacket and just shaking me extremely hard, and then he just kept throwing me into my car. I hit the back window. I couldn't do anything. I mean, he had me pretty much pinned. So after that, he kept saying everything, you know, he just kind of arguing, telling me how much he hates me, die, I hate you, calling me names and verbally abusing, you know, just language at me. He could smell the alcohol in his breath. He was just completely drunk. I mean, he couldn't even hardly stand up sometimes when he was fighting me, but he was strong enough that no matter if I tried to fight him, the more I fought him, the stronger he got. And there was no way I could get away from him.
I heard that already. Let's move on.
So after that, he grabbed a hold of me and he said, we're going in the house. And I told him I didn't want to go in the house. So he picked me up and he carried me into the house.
Picked you up and carried you in the house?
Yes, he picked me up and carried me into the house.
But I was too drunk to walk.
Shh, Mr. Smart. He picked you up and carried you into the house.
Right, and he was slamming me into things. And then he got me into the living room, put me on the couch, and told me to sit. And he jumped me and pushed me over the couch and just started slamming my head into the wall and onto the floor. And I finally got to the point I got free, grabbed him around his neck. I didn't know why. I just told him I loved him. I knew he was going to stop hitting me. I was not strong enough to actually fight him off me anymore. And then he did finally stop hitting me. At that point, the rest of the night, he just stood over me saying, I ain't going nowhere. Leave your tools. You're not going nowhere. And it just continued all night.
So it's stopped. And you stayed the night? Is that what you're telling me?
I had no way to run. There was nowhere to go.
And according to you, he stayed up all night standing over you.
He did fall asleep for a little bit. And I tried to get up. And I went to the bathroom, went into my purse, and I got my spare set of keys. He did, prior to this, took my keys out of my car. And then he finally just said, that's it. I want you out of here. And I said, fine, let me go.
At what time was this, Ms.
This was
Hagan?
about 7:30, quarter to 8 in the morning.
Okay, so what you're telling me is from 11 o'clock at night when he came home, very drunk, hardly able to stand up, until 7:30 in the morning, he was awake.
Oh, he woke up.
Just a sec. Well, did you sleep?
Did I sleep?
That's my question.
No, I did not sleep.
So you didn't sleep at all?
No, I didn't. I was too scared.
So you didn't sleep at all, and he slept?
No, he slept for a little bit, and every time I moved, he would start moving.
What do you mean every time you moved? Were you sleeping together? Shh! Were you sleeping together, and where
yes,
were you
we were. Yes, we were.
Sleeping together where?
In his bedroom. He brought me into the bedroom after.
Okay, well, you didn't tell me that. First, we started on the couch. Do you have a police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see the police report, please.
Why don't you show her a picture, too?
Shh.
Shut up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
At first, her whole problem was that I didn't spend Christmas with her because nobody can stand her because of the bull she's pulled on me. Or, excuse me, Your Honor, because of the things she's pulled on me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christine Hagan says ex-boyfriend Brian Smart assaulted her during a night of heavy drinking. Christine also claims Brian held her captive for the night.
Mr. Smart, I'd like you to tell me your version of the events, sir.
That evening I came home, it was more like 1:30 when I pull up my van. She's got her car back in my basement, loading up her tools and my tools. I say, I'll come up to her and say, hey, what are you doing? You know, what makes you think you're going to come to my house 1:30 in the morning loading up stuff in my house?
She had to fix a car the next day.
I thought, yeah. I was like, well,
go ahead.
Nothing's going to get fixed tonight. What do you think you're doing? I said, we'll deal with this tomorrow. You know, it's late, it's Christmas, this is a holiday. So anyway, I start pulling my stuff back out of her car. I said, you got my stuff in here? I start pulling my stuff out. I pulled her stuff out. She's throwing stuff back in the car. At the same time, she knocks her window out. At first, her whole problem was that I didn't spend Christmas with her. That was her whole problem and her attitude, because nobody can stand her because of the bull pulled on me, or excuse me, Your Honor, because of the things she's pulled on me. Everybody's confronted her and told her what kind of person she's been. So anyway, I get her calmed down. We go in the house. We lay down, and I would go to sleep.
Did you get undressed?
No.
Did she get undressed?
No. 5:30 in the morning, Your Honor, I woke up.
Why did you go to sleep with your clothes on?
I was tired, and I just wanted to go to bed.
A little bit, had some to drink that day?
Yes, it was Christmas. I was celebrating with my family.
Okay. Next day, what happened?
I woke up at 5:30 in the morning. She's reloading my tools and her tools again. She's sputtering out of the driveway. She can't even get her trunk shut because she's got so much stuff in the back of it. So I'm pulling stuff back out, and she's sputtering out of my driveway. She drives away, comes back a half hour, maybe 45 minutes later with the police.
Okay.
Excuse me, Your
you
Honor.
went and called the police. Shh. You went and called the police, correct?
Yeah, I
Ms. Hagan?
finally got to a point I had a chance to get my key.
All right. Let me read to you in the police report that you've given me what the police say. They said that you contacted them, and you say that you were shoved and punched and pulled by the hair and threw you around the residence throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Hagan refused medical attention and treatment and appeared to be in no distress. Ms. Hagan's hair, makeup appeared to be neat, and there was no physical evidence to support her allegations. How do you explain the fact, Ms. Hagan, that after all you went through that night, beaten, pummeled, thrown over the couch, slept in your clothes, all of those terrible things, why do you think that the police noted there was no physical evidence to support her allegations?
I tried to go to the police officer at the time. I've actually tried, still continually trying to get a hold of the officer, why they haven't done anything further than this.
This is his report. This is what he wrote at the time he saw you.
That is his opinion.
This is what he wrote.
I never even got
out
of my car because I could not keep my car running because my car would die, and I was afraid to be too close to lose a resident with it.
Okay, I'm finished with the assault part. Now let's move on to the big screen television set.
During the summer of 2004, I had moved out of my house with my ex-husband. My son and Brian Smart took the big screen TV and brought it over to his house. Well, the kids got really fond of it. They were playing video games and stuff like that. And so I didn't really say anything. And then when I moved into my new place, there just was no room. So I went ahead and left it at Brian's house. And the kids were having a good time. And
for 6 months?
Yeah. And I asked for it back then, too. And I just figured I'm taking it to court now.
She needed money. She was selling all these things that she got from her ex-husband. She was trying to get like $800 for the TV. I finally talked her down to $600. She really needed the money. Her and her son needed to go get an apartment. I wrote out her a check, which I have right here.
Can I see it, please?
And I believe, Your Honor.
Why did he give you $600?
I never received $600. He has gave me checks in the past to cash in for him so he can pay off bills and take care of his kids for daycare.
Why would he give you money?
He gave me a lot of money off and on.
No, listen to me. First you said he never gave you a check. Then you said he did give you checks to cash for him that he needed for his children.
Not for the TV.
Well, I just asked you a question, Miss Hagan. Mm-hmm. What did he give you $600 for in June?
I know I had to get the kids shots and stuff like that. He gave me some money.
He's got his own bank account. What does he need you to cash a check for?
Christine Hagan says ex-boyfriend Brian Smart assaulted her during a night of heavy drinking. Christine also claims Brian held her captive for the night.
I'm not satisfied with your explanation with regard to the assault that you allege happened, because Mr. Smart says that there was no assault. The police who observed you at the time you called indicated that there was absolutely no physical evidence whatsoever that they could discern, either on your body or in your clothes or your hair, that would support the horrific story you just told me about this horrific assault. In addition, in your claim, you didn't tell me that you had spent the night with him.
I didn't have a choice.
You have a choice. Of course you have a choice. Somebody who was as drunk as you say...
Prior to this,
I'm speaking. Someone who was as drunk as you say, when their head hits the pillow, they're out. And you got up to go to the bath. Don't shake your head. Were you there?
No.
Good. So, quite frankly, Miss Hagan, I don't believe you. And I don't believe that this TV that you left there for 6 months, you all of a sudden want back. I believe that he gave you $600 for it. There is absolutely no other reason, no other credible reason why he would have given you a check in June at about the same time that you were moving out of your place and going into a smaller place. Your claim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm just glad she was a smart enough lady to see through this lady's lies and manipulating everybody.
I know this guy. I've lived with him. I actually left him because the drugs problem was so bad in his house with his kids, doing drugs.
You can't keep a constant job. This way for her to go through her life to get more out of society.
I never even got out of my car when the cops even, because I couldn't keep my car running. I was too scared he was going to come back at me and run at me again.
She's this kind of person that she tries to manipulate everybody constantly to get through life.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Velasquez versus Flores. Step forward, please.
24-year-old hotel manager Andrea Velasquez is suing her former friend, 24-year-old pharmacy technician Lizette Flores, for the cost of a gym membership. Lizette says she never signed a contract.
Ms. Velasquez, according to what I read in your complaint, you and the defendant were very good friends, and for a period of time you lived with the defendant at her parents' home.
Correct.
And at some point you decided to go and sign up for a gym membership.
Correct.
You did sign up for you and the defendant.
That's right.
She went a couple of times, decided she didn't like it, and didn't pay for her membership. You want her portion of the membership that you signed on for because they're coming after you for that amount of money.
That's correct.
Ms. Flores says there was never an agreement between the two of you that she was supposed to pay for this gym membership, and she honestly believed that you were buying this membership for her as a repayment for living with her family, I assume rent-free, for how long?
2 years.
2 years. What were you doing living with her family for 2 years?
I got in a bad situation with somebody, and so did she, and then her parents were moving. We all agreed to chip into an apartment together. I paid rent every single month the 2 years that I was there to her father.
How much money did you pay?
$100 a month.
Now tell me about this gym membership.
I was attending Fullerton College. Her and I had previously discussed signing the gym together. I said, okay, I went to school. They had a membership deal, so...
You went to school on what date?
January 31st of 2002 is when I signed up.
So you signed up for the two of you?
Correct.
Can I see the contract that you signed?
Sure can. This is my contract, and this is her contract that I signed for her.
So you signed both of these contracts?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you tell the defendant about the contract?
When I came home that night.
What did you tell her?
I presented her the contract. I let her know that I did sign up for her. She had 3 days to cancel. I let her know if she did not want the contract, please let me know within these 3 days so I can go ahead and cancel it. It'll come off my credit. She said, yeah, that's fine. We went over the contract together. 2 days later, we went to the gym. We actually took our photo IDs together, and she was supposed to put everything under her name. But I didn't feel confident enough in her because she was barely trying to establish credit. And I kept it under my credit as long as I told her, just as long as you pay for it, give me the checks monthly. She agreed to that.
There is nothing here with her name on it.
Well, it's because it's under mine. She never transferred. If you look on the original contract, it's all under my name, and underneath it says her name, Lizette Ramos.
I understand that, madam. But you bring me what this credit history is and the amount of payment.
Correct.
And this says what all the payments are up from the very beginning. Now, what I say to you is, show me your payment history.
I don't have that with me.
She says that you weren't paying yours. So, wouldn't it strike you, since you signed up for the two of you at the same time, wouldn't you think that the smart thing to do was to bring something that showed your payments of $29 for your account and her payments for $29 on her account, since there's absolutely nothing here that suggests that this is her membership?
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I understand.
All right, now, let's get to you. When she came home that night and said she had signed you up, what did you say to her?
I took it as a gift. I said, thanks.
Well, what did she say to you?
She said, hey, I got us memberships to the gym. You just have to promise me you have to work out with me. I said, okay, that's fine. And we actually worked out for 3 days. And on the third day at the gym, she found out she was pregnant. She took a home pregnancy test at the gym. So we went home that day. We stopped going. I stopped going as well.
Did you stop going to the gym at that point?
I kept going.
No, she didn't.
We weren't friends, Lizette.
Just a second.
Oh, you were living at my house.
You have two problems with me. First of all, you did not have her consent at the time that you signed up for the membership. And second, you don't have anything to show me that this collection letter is on the second membership rather than on the first. And I assume you could have gotten the same printout on yours, right?
Correct.
Well, then you have a problem. You have a problem of proof with me. In any event, there was no contract entered into between the two of you at the time that you signed her up for this membership. She's not responsible for the membership. When you got pregnant and you took the pregnancy test and you went home, which I believe probably happened, did you expect her to remain a gym member and keep going to the gym without you?
Well, yeah, she agreed to the contract.
You know, I agreed to her promising her.
Sorry, babe. She doesn't owe you any money.
Parties are excused.
Now, this is case number 558 on the calendar in the matter of Bowden versus Duncan. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Your name is Mackenzie, is that right?
Yes.
What's your name?
Brett.
Brett. All right. Your lawsuit says that this young man punched your daughter and broke her glasses.
Yes.
Brett says your daughter started it, right, Brett? How old are you, Brett?
12.
Who was this?
Jason.
Jason was with you when this happened?
Yes.
But your mother wasn't with you, is that right?
No.
Right. So your mother's going to sit down. Tell me how her glasses got broken.
They didn't break. The lens got scratched.
If lens get scratched, you can't wear them. Tell me what happened.
Well, it started at the soccer field.
Do you remember the date?
No, I don't remember.
Well, you remember what month it was in?
January.
Is that right?
January 29th.
January. Go ahead.
We were at the soccer field.
Who's we?
Me and Jason. And she kicked a ball, and it was coming towards me, and she wasn't anywhere near it yet. And so I kicked it back, and she came over and shoved me.
How did she shove you?
She went up like that, up to my shoulder.
She shoved you on your shoulder?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you say anything to her?
No, I told her not to do it again, or I was going to tell the manager.
Where was this? Where were you playing?
Sluggers.
What?
Sluggers.
I don't know what Sluggers is.
It's sports center.
Indoors?
Yeah. Yes.
Better. So she kicked a ball, you kicked it away. She came over and she shoved you on your shoulder.
Yes.
What happened then?
Well, then we left, and then...
Where did you go?
We went to the basketball court.
Is that also indoors?
Yeah. Then she and... What?
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Afterwards, she and Mackenzie got them two over there, and they were following, and then she came...
They were following who?
Me and Jason.
They were following the two of you?
Yeah.
Why do you think that they were following the two of you?
I don't know.
You think that these two people were picking on you?
I don't know. They weren't saying anything to us.
They were just following you?
Yeah, they didn't say nothing.
Okay. And what happened next?
Well, she came up and kicked me between the legs.
Just a second. Stand up, Jason. Move over to him. No, now move back over there. Show me how she kicked you between your legs.
She came up and went like that. When I was
so it hit you on the back of your knee?
No, right
Where?
in the private area.
She kicked you in your private area. She must be a rocket. You can sit down now. And then what happened?
Then after that, I kept walking, and then she grabbed my hoodie from the behind like this, and she started punching me up here in the spinal cord, and then I turned around and punched her.
Now, where were these two people when she came up to you and kicked you?
They left before she kicked me, and they went to a car or something, and then there's these other kids, Rance and Easton, that were egging them on.
Egging who on?
Them two.
Egging them on? How were they egging them on?
They were provoking them while they were in the car.
Well, how were they Tell me how they were provoking them.
They were saying that they can't do nothing about what was going on, that they aren't going to do nothing, and they were flipping them off.
Did you know Mackenzie from before that day?
No.
So you still haven't explained to me why you punched her.
She hit me first, and I was self-defending myself.
Because she was grabbing hold of your hoodie?
Yeah, and then she started punching me.
Did it hurt you? Really? After you punched her, what did you do?
She knocked her glasses off and ran off, and then I picked them up and sat them on the counter. And afterwards, I went behind the counter with the worker because he said he wouldn't let the lady do anything.
Which lady?
Her.
You mean she came back looking for you?
Yeah.
And the person who worked at the sports center took you behind the counter?
Yeah.
Because they were afraid that this lady was going to beat you up?
They were afraid that she was going to do something, and they were afraid.
So they took you behind the counter.
Yes.
And then what happened, Brett?
Then after that, she came back in with their daughter, and they got their glasses, and she started yelling at us, and Rance and Easton were smart-looking again, and then she was chewing them out, and then she told me to call my mom, and I did, and she talked to my mom about what happened, and that afterwards she hung up and left after my mom told her that she was going to be there to talk to her, and she left. And then afterwards we looked for her, and then we couldn't find her, and then we left.
Have you been back to the sports center?
Since? No.
Why not?
Because the guy said not to come back for a while.
Right. And why do you think the guy told you not to come back, Brett?
So I don't cause any more problems.
That sounds right. And did they also tell your friend Jason not to come back?
No.
Just you?
Me and Rance and Easton.
So the three of you were told don't bother to come back?
Yeah, but since Rance and Easton were on the baseball team, they get to come back.
But not you?
Not me.
You think that's unfair?
No.
You think that you behaved badly that day?
Yes.
Good. You did. You think your friends were sort of troublemakers?
Yes.
How old are they?
Easton, I don't know, and Rance, I think he's 13.
You're 12. So you're the youngest. You like to hang around with guys who are a little bit older?
Yes.
Okay, who are you?
I'm her sister.
Okay, so you want to tell me what you saw that day?
I was sitting by my mother watching my younger sister Cody playing her soccer game at Sluggers, and Mackenzie came up, and I believe it was the second time she had come up, and she asked my mother if she could defend herself because some boys were calling her names and said they were going to beat her up.
What were they calling you, Mackenzie?
Blue eyes and eyes twitching.
You think that's nice?
No.
Don't even suggest to me that nobody said that to Mackenzie, because we know that they did.
It was Easton and Rance that were...
It was somebody else.
Yes.
Somebody else did it. You know what we used to call that? The Sadi principle. Remember that? Some other dude did it. Why were they calling her names?
Because, I think because she twitches. I'm not sure. But I told them not to, but they just kept going.
You told them not to? You, age 12, told these boys that you were trying to impress. Don't tease the little girl. That's not nice. You told them that?
Yeah.
I don't believe you. You, who ended up punching her, told the other two boys who were merely calling her names, don't call her names. Is that what you want me to believe? Brett?
Yes.
I don't!
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
We went to go see what was going on, why they were bugging them, and there was 4 boys, and they all ran into the bathroom and hid.
Everybody had to go to the bathroom the same time?
And later today,
she would come and drop him off, and she would get off work and go out to clubs and stuff instead of coming and picking him up. I mean, he would be there half the night before she'd come and get him, and she'd just abandon him there.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 10-year-old Mackenzie Hammond says 12-year-old Brett Williams punched her in the face and broke her glasses. Brett says Mackenzie hit him first.
So your sister said to you, can I defend myself?
She said that to my mother, but I was sitting there and heard it. And then my mother sent me and my boyfriend down to see what was going on because Mackenzie doesn't get in fights. She doesn't get in trouble.
And when you went down there, what happened?
We went to go see what was going on, what the boys, why they were bugging them, what the side of the story were. And there was 4 boys, and they all ran into the bathroom and hid.
Everybody had to go to the bathroom the same time?
No, I didn't go in there. I went behind the counter.
You hid behind the counter. The other 3 went into the bathroom.
No, me and Jason went behind the counter.
So the 2 of you hid behind the counter, and 2 of your friends, the 2 who were teasing her, ran into the bathroom.
Yes.
That's not right.
Can I see the bill for the glasses, please? Stand up with him now. Brett, do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yes.
Brothers or sisters?
Both.
How old is your brother?
11 and 4.
And what about a sister?
14 and 2.
Okay. How would you feel if your sister wasn't very nice looking and some kids were teasing her and making her feel sad and cry? How would you feel?
Bad.
What would you do?
Tell the other people not to.
Because it really isn't nice to tease other people.
Right.
Especially not right to tease other people if they have a physical disability. Right?
Right.
You would never do that, would you?
Probably would.
You did. Anything you want to say to me? No, ma'am. Good. Judge the plaintiff for the amount of $517, that's all. Now you can apologize.
Sorry for punching you.
Why does that excuse you may step out?
I don't feel that I should have paid for the whole thing since my kid wasn't the only one involved.
Oh, there were 4 boys, and they were definitely all involved, but her son is the one that actually punched my daughter and broke the glasses.
It was a little bit of both sides, not just one.
It was up to her to go after the other boys for their part of it.
She threw the first swing, and I was doing self-defense.
I feel that it was very fair because Brett lied, just brought everything.
Mackenzie walked away 4 different times from this kid. They even pursued her to the car and beat on the car.
Don't hit if you don't want to get hit back.
Given the fact that the kid has been in trouble before with the law, I hope he gets some help. I think he needs it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Jackson versus Jackson. Step forward, please.
21-year-old concrete finisher Daniel Jackson and his wife Lauren are suing Daniel's sister, Amanda Jackson, for unpaid babysitting fees and a cell phone bill. Amanda says the couple is trying to squeeze her for money.
Mr. Jackson, this is your sister?
Yes, ma'am.
And your sister-in-law?
Yes.
Your complaint is twofold. First, that she owes you for some babysitting that you did for her. And second, that because you were being nice, you got her access to a cell phone. The agreement was she was to pay the bill. And after some sort of a rift, she left, and you got a cell phone bill for $1,600 that were long-distance calls that were hers, and you wanted to pay that bill because now the bill has gone into collection. Your sister says that she's all paid up on the child care and that she asked you numerous times to let her see the bill because there's no way she went that far over the minutes to have amassed a bill for $1,600.
Yes, ma'am.
Why was your sister-in-law babysitting for your child?
She has a son, which is Austin's cousin, and she said, you know, I don't work, I stay home anyway, I don't mind him staying over here because I know you can't afford to pay a babysitter, so that's why she kept Austin.
How long did she do that for?
3 months.
How many hours a day?
It would depend on my schedule, depending on which shift I had. When I worked at a restaurant, I worked usually from 2 to 11. She would usually watch him then, or she would watch him in the morning time. So the schedules would vary.
So it's your statement that your sister-in-law agreed to watch your child just because she was being nice?
Yes, ma'am. We never agreed on amount or anything. I told her that, you know, she said, well, whenever you got the money to pay me, that'd be fine. We never agreed on an amount. So whenever I had extra money, I would give it to her.
How much extra?
Sometimes it was $50 a week. Sometimes it was $30 a week. But when I got my tax check in January, I gave her $400 out of it for watching my child.
Show the defendant this statement, please, and ask her if that's her signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to read what you said about the tax return that you signed over to your brother for babysitting. What does it say?
I signed over my $700 tax refund check to him and his wife.
Well, was it $700 or $400?
The tax check was $700. $400 of it was to go towards babysitting. $300 was to go towards cell phone bill. So the total of the check was $700.
Let me see. And I'll take the statement back as well.
Thank you.
Did she give you this $700?
No, ma'am. She got that check and she couldn't cash it, so she asked me to cash it for her. She gave us $350 for babysitting, and the rest she kept. She said she needed it for bills or money or whatever.
Well, that's what she said initially. She said she gave you $400 for babysitting. And you gave her the rest in cash?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, she was supposed to get the rest of her income tax and give us more money, but we never seen it.
Well, if I had 2 checks that I
Don't
had...
speak.
Yes, ma'am.
What was your arrangement with her as far as babysitting?
Well, she had just moved back from Wisconsin, and she had 2 jobs and no one to watch her son. And my son is almost the same age, so she told me to write down on a piece of paper how many hours a day, and she would pay me. Well, she never did.
Well, pay you what?
We never decided.
Okay, so there was never a fixed agreement?
No, not at first. Then it was like 18 hours a day sometimes.
Well,
so instead of doing every hour, since it was so much, we just agreed on $100 a week.
No.
She would come and drop him off, and she would get off work and go out to clubs and stuff instead of coming and pick him up. I mean, he would be there half the night before she'd come and get him, and she just abandoned him there.
All right, let me see the phone bill.
I also have, from October and November, the hours that I watched her son.
I don't want the babysitting.
Okay. And this.
I just want the phone bill. Is this all on one number?
Yeah, there's 3 numbers on there. It's 3 months of bills, late fees, collection fees.
No,
It's all
all
added up on
with the
that paper.
$700 check that I gave them, $300 of that check was to go towards my phone bill.
The
I
other
gave them a full
$300.
$700.
I don't believe you, madam.
Well,
Listen to me
that's the
very
way it was.
carefully.
Yes, ma'am.
You owed her more money for babysitting if you were doing the right thing and paying her for babysitting.
I did.
$350.
I paid her more than that, but I paid her cash.
Doesn't cut it. I believe your brother when he says that he cashed that check and he gave you back cash.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, I believe him. Okay. Now, both of these numbers are on this one bill, and you say that she owes the whole thing.
400 something of it was ours. We subtracted that out of the total amount.
We just added together on that paper her charges.
Yeah, but her charges total the whole thing, according to you. 1845.96, and according to this, it's 1872.
There's also the collection on there that adds another $300 and something dollars.
Well, why didn't you pay yours?
Because they wouldn't take part of a payment. They wanted the whole thing.
No, that's not true. Don't tell me. When the bill starts to add up, Miss Jackson, and you say to a company, listen, somebody else has this phone, but I want to pay my portion of it, so at least we stop the late fees on my portion. They take partial payments.
They had already taken one partial payment from her and still had an overdue balance on it, and they said that they wanted all of it or none of it.
I don't believe you. That I don't believe, that they wouldn't say, listen, I'll take your $400 and then we'll talk about the rest later. I don't know a company that says, I'm not taking your money.
The reason why they're wanting me to pay all of it is Daniel called me a few weeks back and says, they're garnishing my check for 85%. Well, I know that that's not true. I know a lot of garnishment laws, and they cannot garnish your check for that amount when you have 2 dependents, and you're the only one in your house working. So I knew he was lying. I later found out she okayed for Singular them to debit their account. She gave them the account number, the routing number, the check numbers, said, okay, you can debit my account for this much money when they didn't have the money in there. That's why they're wanting me to pay all of these bills.
Don't you think you probably owe for some of these excess minutes?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Well, it's very hard for me to figure out exactly what she owes. Sir?
It's all listed on there under her phone number, the amount that she owes on each one.
I see $327.
Yeah, that's
for her
turning
number.
the phones off, for having the phone shut off early. That's the early termination fees.
Okay. That she's responsible for.
For having their phones terminated also?
Yes,
300.
because...
Just a second. You had yours terminated, $327. That's what that is, that you owe.
For their phones being shut off?
No, that's just for yours. 772.
Yes, ma'am, that's her phone.
Is that your number?
Yes, ma'am.
327, 701, and 167, $1,195. It looks to be what you owe on the phone.
Is that with the collection fees and everything on there?
I'm not bothering with that, sir. That's your problem. Learn next time. Don't get somebody else's cell phone and let the bills pile up, including yours. You also didn't pay your bill.
Well, we've already paid our portion
You
of
didn't
over.
pay your bill in a timely fashion. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You let somebody else swing for it. You're just annoyed because it all got caught up and they're coming after you instead of coming after her. But she owes the money, $1,195. As far as I'm concerned, the babysitting, that's your problem.
Parties are
Goodbye.
excused. You may step out. Two on the calendar in the matter of Calmetta versus Morris. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Calmetta, according to your complaint, sir, you met the defendant at Home Depot.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you just struck up a conversation with the defendant.
Yeah, she was standing in front of me in line.
And she told you that she was buying stuff to paint her house or to do her house, and you volunteered to help her, but then indicated to her that the cost for doing that would be how much? $1,500?
Well, Your Honor, actually, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't mean to change. What had happened was initially I had given her my card because I was sort of attracted to her.
I assume. I've read the complaint.
It wasn't more or less, I told her she did need electrical work. I was an electrical contractor. I do building, I do painting, I do remodeling, but my primary job is an electrical contractor. So I handed her my card, and I did make a comment that is sometimes it's easier to hire someone to do the work than try to do it yourself.
So?
Well, about 3 hours later, I went and finished the job I was on, and I got to the driveway of my home, and I got a phone call on my cell phone. It was her, and she had tried to attempt to paint the condo herself, and she was having a little trouble. Apparently, the paint wasn't sticking to the ceiling, and she was getting blotches. And I sort of told her, I says, well, try to smooth them
Well,
out.
what did she ask you? She said, how?
Well, she asked me if I knew someone who could come out, because she knew that my primary trade was electrical, that if I knew a painter, if I could help her out. And I says, well, sure, I do, but it's going to be very difficult to get someone to come out on a drop of a dime, you know, this Friday night, you know, and figured I'd try to make a few phone calls, and nobody was calling me back.
You didn't make any phone calls. You decided to go over there yourself.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Well, I did call one person.
Right.
I tried to. I called
you
one
thought
person.
about calling somebody, but you
Wow.
went over yourself.
Yes.
Mr. Calmetta, let's keep it simple, sir.
Yes, yes,
Simple
Your
and
Honor.
honest. Yes.
So
Okay.
I ended up going over there, yes, and I noticed that her rollers were incorrect. She had the incorrect rollers. The paint was a cheap brand, and I asked her, I said, let's go to Home Depot, let's get a better quality paint, and let's get some rollers. So we went to the store, we picked up the correct supplies, we got back, and I did spend that whole, I got there from 4, I have the whole job itemized here.
No, just tell me the stories.
Okay, I'm just...
You didn't
letting know
itemize the job that day or
No,
the day
it
after.
was itemized down the road.
It was itemized down the road, close to this lawsuit.
Yeah, right at...
All right, so let's... Mr. Calmetta, let's try to keep it simple. So you
understand.
went to this store, you got better paint, and you got a couple of really good rollers. And then you went back and started to help her paint the house, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear.
Well, we spent the whole week in there painting because it was a decent sized job. I had my employee here come by on Saturday. I was there till 11:30 Friday painting, and we returned Saturday in the afternoon after I was done with my regular jobs, and we spent. Well, I had left for 2 hours. He was there for the first 2 hours while I had went and did a service call. I returned. We were there together for about 5 more hours, and I stayed later to try to finish up the job on
Which
Saturday.
are you talking about?
Shh.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
That was May 6th on a Saturday. And then the last day I was there was Sunday, which was May 7th. And I was only there for 3.5 hours.
Okay, so you were there. Did you finish the job?
Yeah, we finished the whole job. It was
Good.
like, she wanted 2 different colors, so that took a little bit of taping.
You finished the job.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
And then what happened?
Well, there was also, things happened, and we talked about possibly going to South Beach with me. Okay, we were going to
Going
take
to Florida?
Yes, Your Honor. And I had purchased some tickets for us to go.
When did you do that?
Actually, it was Monday.
I mean, right after the weekend?
Yeah.
Right after the weekend, you bonded with the good rollers.
At least I thought we did.
And?
And when it got closer to the trip, I'll try to make this short, something happened to her grandmother.
How much later was the trip scheduled?
Well, it was scheduled to leave on the 19th of May.
So within a couple of weeks?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see each other between that time, between the Monday that you finished the job and the day you were supposed to leave on the trip? Did you go out? Did you date? Did you go to dinner? Anything?
Well, we were both quite busy.
So the answer is no?
No.
Okay. And?
And like I said, 3 days before the flight, she had called and said that well, I tried to get in hold of her. She's kind of mad. I called her work. She didn't like the fact that I called her at work. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. She was at her grandmother's house for a couple days. Apparently she was sick and she couldn't make the trip, and she ended up canceling on me, which in a way I did go on the trip by myself. I have the tickets, that I purchased for her, which I'm not too concerned with about the trip, to be honest with you. Even though I put it on the sheet, I wasn't really going to try to make a deal out of it, because I did go on a trip and I had a great time. The day I got there, I met a beautiful young lady and had a great time in South Beach, and I was kind of glad I went. So it turned out real well. So more or less, it's the trip's not that big of a concern. It's just more or less the work that I did.
So you are withdrawing your claim for the plane ticket?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So far, that's a good idea, because I didn't hear anything about, well, I'll pay half.
Yeah, exactly. So I figured that much. So
Perfect. All right. Now, with regard to the painting, I also didn't hear anything, Mr. Calmetta, about how much she was going to pay you or your helper.
I was going to tell you that. I don't know how you can figure as far as the Friday, because we didn't discuss the rates till about the middle of the job on Friday. She goes, well, what do you charge?
She asked you what your fees were. That doesn't necessarily mean that she was agreeing to pay your fees. But
well,
she asked how much.
When they asked me what my fees are, I'm not there to do this for free. I wasn't there to paint the place for free. I more or less made it clear that $75 to come out, and it's $50 per man per hour. Those are my daytime rates. Anything after 5 o'clock, like I said, I have it all itemized. It's double time after 5. Saturday, it's time and a half, and Sunday, it's double time. And I did make it clear to her. I even said it'd probably run about $1,500.
Okay.
And so,
Now,
but it did come a little bit more than that.
now, when you told her it was going to run her $1,500, what did she say to you?
She had no problem with that.
No, what did she say?
Hi.
She said okay. She had no problem.
Okay,
with
now, Miss Morris.
Yes.
Let's hear from you. And we don't have to concentrate on the trip, because the trip he's withdrawing, because
I understand that.
he had a great time there with somebody else.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He already had the tickets bought, Your Honor. He came to my house with somebody else's name on the ticket saying I was supposed to take her, but instead I chose you.
Is that true?
Well, I was supposed to take some other girl that I had met, but...
Oh, yeah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Richard Calmetta says former friend Sarah Ann Morris owes him for painting her condo and for airline tickets to South Beach.
Now, Miss Morris.
Yes.
Let's hear about the painting. You hooked up at
Your
Home
Honor.
Depot. I assume all of that is correct, that you met there, that you called him to come over and take a look and see if he could help you, that you did, in fact, go back and buy different paints, different rollers, etc. He came back to your house and started working. So far, is that all correct?
To a point. He gave the wrong dates. It's April 28th.
Who
and 29th.
cares?